achievements thanks to you. Roux-Che, over to you. You've worked across civil society and governmental spaces. How do we protect youth participation from being co-opted to or diluted?
Thank you so much, Ms. Chair. I think it's important to realize that with youth participation, we need to focus on empowerment above everything else. We're trying to empower the youth so that they can, because we say that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow, but how can they lead tomorrow if they're not being included right now? Thinking of this question, my being here in itself is it's youth participation and it's empowerment, because it will not stop here. It's a snowball effect, and if I'm empowered, I'm also empowering the next Namibian girl child, and that is very important. So why youth participation works and how it can properly work is first of all through co-creation, right? So if we have the youth participating in decision making fully, right, not only just being given a seat on the table, but also through follow-ups, also through consultation, and how if they're involved in the decision making process, we see that we are actively involving them, right? So there needs to be ongoing engagement. It mustn't be a one-time thing. It mustn't be something that we are ticking off a checklist that yes, we had someone age 30 in the building, right? We need to actively engage the youth. So basically, concrete steps that we can take. First of all, we need to formalize youth advisory structures, right? In every single institution, there must be a certain number of youth. This is not negotiable, right? We need to get the youth actively involved, and we need to have youth councils, we need to have boards, we need to have forums where young people are actively involved across all the sectors. We need to ensure that there's consistent dialogue between leaders and between youth on the ground. This is a non-negotiable. Secondly, as I said, we need to empower youth leadership. We need to empower the youth on every level, at every skill. This involves capacity building. This involves entrepreneurship training. This involves education. It involves soft skills development, and particularly to the marginalized communities, right? We need to get the message to those that are unable to get the message without our assistance, right? So it's important that we don't only empower the youth that are on the edge, or those that have access to technology, or those that are close to reach. We need to also look at the marginalized youth. We need to build confidence and self-worth among the youth, right? We need to make sure that when they take up space, they feel worthy to take up that space. They feel confident, and they're able to continue running with what we've started. Also, we need to collaborate with the youth as partners, right? We need to realize that they have to continue what we have started, and so we need to have mutual trust, we need to have shared learning, and there needs to be collective action between those that are in power and the youth that are going to be in power very soon. And lastly, it needs to be like a loop. It needs to be a cycle. So yeah, as I said, there needs to be trust, there needs to be motivation, and there needs to be empowerment. Lastly, I would like to close off with a quote. Meaningful youth participation must be built on trust, transparency, and shared power. Only then can we create inclusive policies that reflect the realities and the potential of young people everywhere. And I'd like to end reminding all young people in the room that this is a perfect example of active youth participation. We are being empowered, and now it is our responsibility from the policies that the UN has created to bring us here. We need to run with the torch and continue to empower young people so they can also take up space and participate in active youth participation. Thank you.